Freedom for another hostage after 5 years of captivity. A day of joy and pain. The William Kennedy Smith trial begins with a victory for the defense and a Money Crunch special report on kickoff weekend for holiday shopping. Was it a boom or a bust? This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. Dan Rather reporting. The long Middle East hostage case may be down to its final moves. It could be all over in days after a series of deals, including at least one with Iran. The latest American to be released is getting a checkup at the U.S. military hospital in Wiesbaden, Germany. CBS News correspondent Peter Van Sant is there.
Exhausted and frail, Joseph Sicipio arrived in Germany tonight, bearing the scars of 1,908 days in captivity.
I am happy it's over. I would like to put it all behind me, and I would like to get going to the next day as my first new day of my new life.
His spirits were high as he reunited with his wife, who stayed in Beirut throughout her husband's ordeal. Sicipio arrived at the Air Force Hospital in Wiesbaden, where doctors are worried about his condition. There had been talk of flying him immediately back to the States for treatment. Less than 2 months ago, Sicipio underwent emergency surgery in Lebanon for an undisclosed problem.
So I'm happy about that, or I may not have been here this day.
2 Americans remain prisoners, Alan Steen and Terry Anderson, who has been held nearly 7 years. Their kidnappers say both men may be freed soon.
They said that they hoped that they would all be released by the end of this year.
Sicipio's release follows a series of deals. Israel yesterday let go 25 Arab prisoners. And the United States today gave Iran back $260 million it had seized after the Islamic Revolution.
How are you feeling, sir?
Terrific right now. Better than I've ever felt.
Joseph Sicipio says he was cut off from the outside world. No information. He has now learned that his oldest son and a sister died during his captivity. This day of freedom is also a day of pain. Peter Van Sant, CBS News, Wiesbaden, Germany.
This is Jacqueline Adams in Norristown, Pennsylvania. Helen Fazio was determined to dance with her brother Joseph Sicipio again, no matter how long his captors held him. Friends say that fierce determination has kept her alive through her own battle with cancer.
I said to my doctor, I want to keep fighting. I can't give up because I have a purpose in my life.
This is a CBS News special report from CBS.
That faith was shaken this morning, though, after Helen and her family saw the toll 1,908 days of captivity, 20 moves, and an operation had taken on their newly freed hostage.
He didn't see the beautiful things in life that we did. The sunlight, the sunshine, the grass, the rain, the things in life that we all are so thankful for.
But I'm a little disheartened by how he looks emotionally. He looks sad and he looks like he's holding back tears.
Though Thomas has led the Sicipio family through this crisis, he was so shaken by his brother's appearance in Damascus, he had to leave the room. It took more than an hour to find words to express his shock.
To me, he looks like he aged about 15, 20 years. It was very hard for me to accept it.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Today's emotional peaks and valleys have mirrored those of the last long 5 years. But if there's anything this strong, closely knit family has learned, it's that the Sicipios have the will and the love to survive together. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
After months of controversy and publicity, the rape trial of William Kennedy Smith finally began today with an early setback for the prosecution. CBS News correspondent Bruce Morton has our report from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Would you believe it? A courthouse worker asked. There are twice as many of them here today. No wonder. Today, it started.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief because we've got a jury and we can start the trial and get this whole process underway.
6 jurors in Florida, 4 women, 2 men, plus 2 alternates. The first action, though, belonged to the lawyers. Could the state call 3 other women who said William Smith had raped or assaulted them? Prosecutors said it showed a pattern.
To meet unescorted young women at some kind of social gathering
to lure them to his house under false pretenses, and once there, to make a violent, swift, sudden attack.
The defense said all that mattered was the woman's state of mind this time, victim or consenting partner, and the judge agreed.
The court denies the state's motion.
Then it really started. Opening statements with their two different pictures of Willie Smith. Their two different pictures of the woman charging rape. Maura Lash for the prosecution.
She tried to get up, but the defendant forced her back to the ground with his chest. The defendant pushed up her dress, which was black, pushed aside her underwear, and entered her vagina with his penis. She told him to stop it. She told him no.
And afterwards, Smith, full of contempt.
She said, "You raped me." And he replied, "I did not, and no one's going to believe you anyway."
In defense attorney Roy Black's picture, William Smith was a lover, not a rapist.
And in that area, they engage and make love. This is not in any forced way whatsoever. It's a totally consensual act of love between two people.
It was afterward, Black explained, that the woman grew angry and irrational.
She says to Will, "Michael, you've raped me." And he keeps saying, "Well, what are you talking about? I haven't raped you, and my name's not Michael. Who's Michael? I'm William." And she says, "Michael, you've raped me." The only Michael that she's ever mentioned knowing is her stepfather.
Black promised a battery of technical experts to strengthen his case, but it will probably still come down to what the man and the woman say and which story the jury believes. William Smith and his accuser have been tried in the newspapers, tried on television. Now, finally, they're being tried in court. Bruce Morton, CBS News, West Palm Beach.
Lots of news still ahead here on the CBS Evening News. U.S. concern over nuclear weapons, now in a newly independent Ukraine. And hospitals ask you, the patient, the ultimate question: what to do if you're dying?
Just flakes, huh? A little old-fashioned, don't you think? It's too simple. I mean, I know you're going for that good old days thing, but all this makes me think of is the Depression. Now, wait a minute. This doesn't taste old-fashioned. It's good. I like this simple. I like it a lot.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Taste them again for the first time.
Late one night, the city slept. She dropped into a local night spot. She was not easily satisfied. Then, exactly what she was looking for. Isotona gloves. People can't wait to get their hands on them.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values, like this 19-inch Magnavox Stereo TV, just $299.99. On-screen display, terrific sound, just $299.99. Only at Sears Brand Central.
A few days ago, Mikhail Gorbachev said he couldn't imagine the Soviet Union without the Ukraine. Now, that's exactly what he faces. Boris Yeltsin's Russian Republic recognized a new independent Ukraine today. The Ukraine, breadbasket of the Soviet Empire, base for hundreds of nuclear weapons, voted yesterday to make a break. Correspondent Anthony Mason begins our coverage.
The unsealed ballot boxes revealed a landslide. More than 80% of Ukrainians voted to break away from Moscow in Sunday's referendum. Newly elected President Leonid Kravchuk proclaimed an independent Ukraine is born. On the streets of Kiev, the banners urging independence could finally be brought down. Some people bought covers for a new Ukrainian passport. I'm so happy, this woman says. We are only just now feeling free. The second largest Soviet republic, a nation of 52 million people, the Ukraine would immediately become one of Europe's largest countries, taking with it a major source of the Soviet Union's food and raw materials. The outcome was an embarrassment for President Gorbachev, who has all but insisted the Ukraine remain in his new union. The republic has refused even to take a seat at the bargaining table, ignoring the Soviet president's warnings that independence could lead to catastrophe. In Washington today, the White House said it will dispatch an emissary to Kiev this week, moving towards full diplomatic recognition of the Ukraine.
Well, I think we want to be supportive of a positive change.
Ukraine is already training its own army and is still a key producer of Soviet nuclear weapons. But the new defense minister reassured the West. The Ukraine's own armed forces, he said, will never possess nuclear weapons. Gorbachev was conspicuously silent today. The overwhelming mandate for independence may only make the Ukraine still more defiant. The union, as Gorbachev imagines it, may now be impossible. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Moscow.
This is David Martin at the Pentagon. If an independent Ukraine controlled all the nuclear weapons on its territory, it would overnight become the world's third largest nuclear power. In recent weeks, Ukrainian leaders have told the U.S. they have no desire to keep those weapons, but at the same time, they don't want to give them back to Moscow.
One of the issues we'll be talking with them about is that statement on their part and how we might help in terms of eliminating nuclear weapons.
If we don't seize that opportunity now, a year from now, we could have as many as 10 nuclear nations where there used to be one.
The Ukraine is one of several Soviet republics where nuclear weapons are based. Now that the republics are breaking away, the U.S. is suddenly presented with a new and different nuclear threat.
The real problem is that there are 27,000 nuclear weapons spread in hundreds of sites all over the Soviet Union in the hands of more than 100,000 day-to-day custodians.
It's not just the question of the physical weapon, but those people who know how to build these things and who have knowledge with the different aspects of their weapons programs.
Where once the U.S. pressured Moscow to let scientists like Andrei Sakharov leave the Soviet Union, officials are now concerned that out-of-work weapons experts will do just that, selling their services to the highest bidder. Already, one Soviet company is trying to market underground nuclear explosions for supposedly peaceful purposes, such as creating a reservoir.
U.S. officials say the only real solution is for the Soviet economy to recover so that all those scientists can find jobs. The U.S. can't do much about that, but Congress has authorized the Pentagon to spend $400 million to help the Soviet republics dismantle their nuclear weapons. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Stay with CBS Now for more news, including, is there a pall over the mall as holiday shoppers think small?
I knew stress was part of the job, but my first day really put me to the test. By the evening, the stress gave me a headache that was so bad, I didn't think the pounding would stop. Thank goodness one of the doctors gave me Tylenol. Imagine, with all the pain relievers they have at the hospital, they use what I use. It made a real difference. Then I could too.
Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
This Christmas, you can send a beautiful gift without ever having to leave home. The FTD Season's Greetings Bouquet. It's highly recommended by the one big guy who should know.
It's as easy as FTD.
Extra Strength Malox Plus, the strongest antacid there is, now comes in extra strength tablets. Stronger than Tums, stronger than Rolaids. New Extra Strength Malox Plus, now in tablets.
It's the strongest, and my stomach tells me it's fast.
Can a razor cut your beard off below the skin without the blades even touching your face? It can if it's a Norelco. Norelco's patented lift and cut system lifts the hair, so when it's cut, it can actually drop below skin level without the blades even touching your face. Are you getting a shave this incredibly close and exceptionally comfortable? You are when you shave with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
It's 7 a.m. Do you know what your children are listening to?
What's that bulge in your shorts?
Shockwaves on 48 Hours, Wednesday.
Important to the future of the economy. America's retailers are counting up the receipts from their just completed most important weekend of the year. Many stores were crowded, but as Richard Roth reports, the question is, were enough customers buying?
The symbols are all in place. The problem is in the sales. The weekend that traditionally launches the holiday shopping season was busy, retailers said, but some complained stores were crowded more with browsers than buyers. People like Elizabeth Ferrari in Miami.
We thought we would come today and check out to see what they have to offer so that when we spend our money, we're sure that we get the best thing that we want for our money.
Several of the nation's giant discount chains reported sales up over the same weekend last year, but analysts say that's partly a sign price cuts have to be deep to keep merchandise moving.
A number of the retailers have almost forgotten profits in an effort to build cash so they can buy fresh inventory.
Low prices may become the accelerator for holiday shopping, but fear is keeping a foot on the brake.
Everybody's worried about their jobs. You know, my husband, for one, is we're not in any real danger, but you never know. Tomorrow they could say, sorry, we lost an account, you lose your job.
Gary, I have that order for you that came in this morning.
Not everyone's so worried. An L.A. liquor merchant who says his orders for good cheer are up 10% over last year insists business just isn't as bad as a lot of people say.
It's been very frustrating to wake up in the morning before I come to work and watch the news, national news, and everybody's doom and gloom.
Still, even the offbeat indicators point to real concerns about the Christmas shopping season. The gift wrap indicator, for instance. Orders for holiday wrapping paper are down to their lowest level in 10 years. And the Santa Index, which goes up when retailers worry sales will need some professional boosters. According to a major supplier of temporary help, this year, the Santa for Hire business is booming. Richard Roth, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And one more key business indicator today. This one is from the people who do the buying for American corporations. Their index of business activity indicates that the important manufacturing sector of the economy virtually stopped growing last month. On Wall Street, which has been up and down, the Dow Jones Industrial Average recovered from a 25-point loss early in this day and finished the session up almost 41 points. Trading was heavy.
Ford Motor Company. Profiles in quality. Teamwork.
We work good as a team here on a job like this where all four of us can work together. That's what I said in '82. And today, teamwork is more important than ever.
Our paint job is only as good as a primer coat.
My primer coat's only as good as the body prep.
My body prep starts with a quality body panel. Together,
our goal is to build
the highest quality cars and trucks
in the world.
At Ford, quality is job one.
Shoot some slices, shoot some shreds, shoot some salad, 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 salad shooter.
Presto Salad Shooter Slicer Shredder. Point and shoot right where you want. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, store anywhere.
Salad shooter.
Original, cordless, and professional salad shooter.
Now you don't need a prescription to get prescription strength medicine for itches and rashes. Introducing new Maximum Strength Cord Aid. Now with twice the healing medicine. New Maximum Strength Cord Aid. Prescription strength without a prescription.
Panasonic presents a new breed of smooth operator. The new Smooth Operator rechargeable razor unites the old-fashioned closeness of a warm, wet shave with the convenience and no-nick comfort of an electric. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. Smooth Operator wet, dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you'd be.
I'm Dr. Bob Arnott. Hawaii, the state with a health plan that really works. What can they teach the rest of us? Find out tomorrow on CBS This Morning. It's breakfast for your head.
Starting today, a new federal law says that when you check into the hospital, you have to be told about your rights, including a right to die. CBS News law correspondent Rita Braver explains this new law.
Mickey Greer is checking into Baylor University Hospital in Dallas for a mastectomy, in itself a worrisome procedure.
Mrs. Greer, I need to explain a few things to you.
But first, she must confront an issue that may be even more frightening. What happens if she becomes so ill she cannot make decisions about her own treatment?
You don't have to decide anything today, but we want you to talk about it with your family.
Starting this week, a new federal law requires that all adults who enter a hospital or nursing home be told their rights under their own state law to choose or reject care. Then, if they wish, it's not mandatory, they can leave what's known as an advance directive or living will.
No one likes to face your own mortality, but
When you go in the hospital, you're facing it.
The instructions can be quite general, just designating someone you want to make decisions for you. Or they can be very specific. I do or do not want life-sustaining treatment started if I'm in a coma, and I want it stopped under these conditions. The law was passed in the wake of the Supreme Court case of Nancy Cruzan, a Missouri woman who spent years in a vegetative state, her parents not allowed to have her feeding tube removed because she left no advance instructions.
I think the long-term impact will be improved communication, less uncertainty when tough decisions need to be made in the future.
To help patients make those tough decisions now, some groups are distributing informational videos.
Would you want to be kept alive as a vegetable?
Me, no. But Dad, I'd say yes, at least for a while.
And at Georgetown University Hospital in Washington today, patient Teresa Solomon said the new law would prompt her to make a living will.
We've never written anything down, but this way it'll be documented.
And that, say medical experts, can reduce future agony for everyone. Rita Braver, CBS News, Washington.
A follow-up tonight on our report that one of the most influential members of Congress was thinking of retiring. CBS News now has been told that House Ways and Means Chairman Dan Rostenkowski decided over the Thanksgiving holidays that he will seek re-election. Coming up next, a special Eye on America. A half-century after Pearl Harbor, some say these represent the new Japanese threat.
Look what's popping up, that free Special K waffles from Eggo. Once you see how good fat-free can be, whoa, no, you never let go.
No way. It's all mine.
Special K waffles from Eggo.
Eggo Special K waffles. Crisp, delicious, yet every bite fat-free, cholesterol-free, and just 80 calories per waffle. See how good fat-free can be.
Oh, no, you never let go. Nah. Special K waffles from Eggo. Everybody needs some
$12 for every mile over the limit.
That's $300.
You can add fast, too. Next.
To send someone money fast, call 1-800-CALL-CASH or come to any Western Union location. Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values. Our price has never been lower on this compact GE microwave. Just $99.99. 5 power levels, great low price. At Sears Brand Central, now.
Norelco says don't shave your legs, baby them. With Norelco's incredibly close, comfortable shave that leaves you baby smooth, baby soft. Norelco Lady Shave Razors, dry or wet, we make close comfortable.
This is regular. This is better. This Bayer is regular. For headaches, Anacin is better. Why better? Regular Bayer has one ingredient. Anacin has two. A pain medicine plus a second ingredient that makes it work better. Get Anacin. Get better.
This is ordinary bulk fiber. It's full of grit. This is new Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. The grit is gone because it's triple ground for smoothness. This is ordinary fiber. The grit is definitely not gone. This is new Sunrise Smooth Metamucil, the best mixing, smoothest tasting natural fiber you can buy. The grit is gone. New Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. For regularity, nothing works better. And the grit is gone.
A date which will live in infamy.
Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor 50 years ago this week was a sneak hit and run that ultimately failed to cripple American military power. In the economic contest since the war, Japan has been more patient and in many ways more powerful. As Wyatt Andrews reports in tonight's Eye on America, rather than attack an American base, the Japanese have built their own inside the U.S. economy.
Dennis Gormley sells an auto part you've probably never heard of, an engine bearing, but as auto parts go, it's among the best. Gormley's company, Federal Mogul, sells millions of these bearings to Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and GM, to name a few. But despite constant effort, he has never sold a single bearing to the Japanese. Why?
They already have suppliers, the suppliers that are a part of the Keiretsu.
The Keiretsu, the corporate family. The cartel in which interconnected Japanese companies buy from each other, locking out foreigners, has long been a trade barrier inside Japan. What's new is that in the auto parts field, the Japanese keiretsu has come to America.
It's a collusive, anti-competitive approach to business.
Pat Choate, who is writing a book on the keiretsu, calls it the most threatening Japanese import ever.
Our companies are excluded from competing and selling to the Japanese in our own country.
Remember the hoopla when Japanese automakers came to America to employ Americans? What you didn't see then was a second wave of Japanese parts suppliers, some in joint ventures with Americans, but 200 of which are partly owned by Japan's big three, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda. American companies say this cartel inside America excludes American business, threatening an industry which employs 700,000 Americans.
We find that those keiretsus or cartels are not free for competitors to come in and effectively compete.
Auto parts is such a valuable industry now that parts alone, not automobiles, just parts, is a fourth of the trade deficit with Japan, about $10 billion. Some in Washington are now saying that the assault on this industry with cartels and import barriers ought to sound a new wake-up call to a sleeping America.
Japan has developed what I call a predatory trading strategy internationally that's worked very successfully for them.
Senator Don Riegel of Michigan would force Japanese automakers in America to buy most of their parts outside of the keiretsu.
If we let Japan come into America and kill this industry right in our own country, you know, that would be the biggest mistake we could possibly make.
Japanese companies like Toyota not only admit the existence of their keiretsu, they argue it's a better way of doing business. Cooperating companies within the keiretsu simply make superior parts, they say. Even Toyota's American workers say U.S. quality is wanting.
We've had more problems with the American-made parts than we've ever had with the Japanese parts.
Partly in response to the pressure, Japan's big three are steadily buying more American parts, but their blunt message to America is stop whining.
If American companies, the big three in particular, create the vacuum by not being competitive, Japanese companies, by their very nature, because they are wedded to excellence, can do nothing but fill that vacuum. So, quit complaining and get competitive.
Smokescreen, says Dennis Gormley. American quality is now there.
I truly believe that today we can produce a product competitive with anybody, and all we want is an opportunity.
The fact that we make the best and that we offer it at the best price and it's got top world-class quality doesn't count for anything. They want to keep the business for themselves, and that's what this is all about.
Tomorrow, those who warn that auto parts is not the only business Japan keeps to itself, that Japan now dominates America's most valuable industries and may already control America's ability to stay prosperous. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Long Beach, California.
And that's part of our world tonight. To our Jewish viewers, we wish you a very happy Hanukkah. That goes double for the children who always enjoy it so much. Dan Rather for the CBS Evening News. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
The Japanese are coming. They're buying up and streamlining companies. So what's wrong with Japan investing in America? Plenty. Tomorrow, Zion America on the CBS Evening News.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather.
Connie Chung.
Mike Wallace.
Paula Zahn.
Ed Bradley.
Leslie Stahl.
Harry Smith.
Morley Safer.
Bob Schieffer.
And Charles Kuralt. Experience.
CBS News.
This is CBS.
Mandy to the rescue, for the look that's you. What you gonna do? Mandy to the rescue.
If you're ready for a great Florida vacation
Go Value.
and to rent a Mirage for only $68.95 a week,
Go Value Rent-A-Car.
call your travel agent or 1-800-GO-VALUE.
Mix 105 means variety. The best variety of music is the best mix of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s on Mix 105.
The hottest holiday movie preview on Entertainment Tonight.